Steam, it accumulates on the upper area. Now the upper area of the lower chamber starts to build pressure. Remember, this is the air space. The original is air space, and that's water space. When air expands, it pushes the water down up this shaft into the upper chamber. When all the water is up there, okay, you start brewing. Now that means the air has expanded to almost the whole bottle, right? When the air cools down, it goes back to its normal state, leaving the lower part, which used to be water, a vacuum. And therefore it's a vacuum, it starts to siphon back down the beverage. And that's where the word siphon comes in. Or sometimes they mislead it by calling it a vacuum, because there's a vacuum there, it's vacuuming down, like a vacuum cleaner. But the point is, it's a siphon, it siphons down the beverage, filtered by a cloth filter here, and retains all the granules that are up there. Okay. Now once it starts to boil aggressively, I'll close it, and then when the water goes up, I'll regulate the heat just to maintain all the water up in the second chamber. Close it up now. Swirl it around a bit. Now, when the water's up here, I'll pour my coffee, which I'll grind now. My timing, and we'll probably keep it there for a minute and 15 seconds only. Then I'll shut it off. It will create a vacuum and start to cool down, and then you'll see the coffee being funneled into the lower chamber. Now you can see all the aggressive bubbling, right? You don't want that. You'll over extract. So you temper the heat by regulating the light. If it were a flame, you weaken the weaker to lessen the flame. The problem with tempering too much, if the chamber gets cold, it starts to vacuum. So we'll keep that mild bubbling up there. Okay? So the water retains there, it continues to bubble, creates pressure, and it just keeps on pumping the water up. Okay, so I'll start timing when I start pouring. Put the coffee inside. And I make sure that all the coffee granules are wet. I stir it. Wet, that it extracts properly. And then wait for 1 minute and a half, or 1 minute 15 seconds. Just leave it up there. Vacuum. Higupin nila natin. Now, the trick here to have some presentation is when it's cooling down and coming down as well, you stir it gently. That at the end, you have a dome-like finish to all your coffee granules. That's 59 seconds, 15 more seconds to go. Now put it off and stir, so that we end up with a dome, a nice clean dome. You can stir it like paddling and create a vortex, so everything's circling while it's going down, and it creates a dome.
Nice.
Hindi flat na. It just follows the filter. Because all the water is going towards the filter, so it creates a dome of coffee. Okay. The reason why I made this last, this is bitter coffee. It's dark roast coffee, so it can be smoky, it could be